Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the pitching for today, the 15th of April. It is a Tuesday. We do have an 11 game main slate ahead of us this evening. We don't really have any weather to worry about. A couple colder games here in the Midwest, Minnesota, Chicago, but we are seeing temperatures start to slowly warm up. We do have more winds blowing out today than we've had all season so far. Uh, we also have some matchups from a pitching standpoint that just aren't as strong as they've been the last couple of days. We saw some pitchers really dominate yesterday, rack up some fantasy points. We saw that over the weekend a little bit as well. Ks have kind of crept up over the last few days. It's going to be a trend that we're going to want to pay attention to just to see. Could really be the fact that starting pitching has started to feel 100%, getting stretched out, feel confident in what they're doing, etc. So, again, it is something we want to pay attention to as we go forward. Now, I did mention that, and we have a slate today that has a lot of pitchers with lower K props than the recent numbers. So we do need to try to figure out how we are going to trim our pitcher pool down. Reminder, this is a first look at pitching for the slate. We do get more in depth as the day goes on. We do kind of cut guys out as more information comes out. Opposing lineups are posted, etc. I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play on FanDuel, I would cut my pool into a half, as you just do not have to be as creative. Pricing isn't quite as tight. Allows you to get your main stacks with an upper tier-ish pitcher over there. But with that said, let's dive right in. Kind of looking over at some DK props, game lines, etc. We'll try to figure out which guys make sense, which guys are kind of borderline, and which guys we do want to remove without having to dig in too deep. Now, obviously, sometimes we remove a guy early and then things pop up throughout the day that increases their chances of being a strong performer for us. And there have been times where I've added guys back into the pool. And I do let members know over at DFS Army when I do make those changes. So we're going to start out at the top. Spencer Schwellenbach taking on a team that doesn't strike out a ton in Toronto, but the overall Toronto lineup is somewhat weaker, especially with Springer being injured with I think it was a wrist issue. Schwellenbach has allowed just one run on a solo home run in 3 starts. Isn't going to be a huge K guy. Generally, he does obviously have double-digit K upside. He showed that against Miami, one of the better matchups. But he's a strong ground ball guy. 99 pitches in one performance, so he does have some length, and it drives me nuts to think that 100 pitches is our goal from starting pitchers, but it is what it is now. His K prop is just 4.5. Basically, I pick him at that number. That does seem low. That it would be a worry, because we are spending a lot of money on Schwellenbach. He is a minus 125 favorite. Game total of 8 with juice on the under. There are just a couple other games that are lower on this particular slate. He is plus 155 to earn the W, which puts him around 4th or 5th best odds on the slate from a starting pitcher standpoint. He's definitely going to be in play. He's just not somebody I'm quickly jamming in. Looking at our projected ownership that dropped initially this morning, I would expect this number to go up a little bit, but 4%, that seems pretty low. So it's going to be pretty easy to get overweight exposure on somebody like Schwellenbach, and we don't have to go extreme to get there, which is always a nice thing. Hunter Brown, somebody that I'm probably going to use, but I don't feel great about it. Framber Valdez let us down. St. Louis just is not striking out, especially against right-handed pitching. I was really shocked to see his K prop at 5.5 with juice on the over, which puts him, in the top four or so in terms of K props on this particular slate. And he is the actual favorite of all the starting pitchers to earn the W today at plus 115. That one caught me off guard. I'm going to be honest. The way that St. Louis has been playing, the fact they're putting the ball in play a ton, there's just a lot in this matchup that makes me question some of these numbers. But he's been a strong pitcher as well. Coming off just a 3K performance against a Seattle team that we generally like to strike out, that obviously is a bit worrisome for me as well. Houston is minus 130. So he's going to make my pool, but a lot like Schwellenbach, I just don't know that I want to have to go huge on him. 10% right now. So us getting, to 15, 16, 17% allows us to get overweight and it doesn't overexpose us, I guess. Max Fried, another name. 9,500, probably pretty good price. He's throwing the ball better and better as each start goes. Coming off an 11K performance. It's been mid to upper 90s in pitches in all three starts. He is a minus 192 favorite, which is the second highest favorite on the slate behind the Dodgers. He's plus 125 to earn the W, which I believe is the third best number behind Hunter Brown and Jeffrey Springs. He has the highest outs prop at 18.5 as well. So Kansas City, another team that doesn't strike out all that much. I'm not sure what the numbers are against left-handed pitching. So it could be a better spot. I think Fried makes a ton of sense, and obviously he's the highest owned of the top three. Right now projecting at 14%. Just another name that we can get pretty heavy on without, I guess, pretty overweight on without going super heavy. Now we're getting to the chalky pitcher of the slate is Flaherty. We just saw Scooble shut down the Brewers offense. They can go dormant quite easily. He's gotten better in each start as well. He's only a minus 120 favorite, but K prop of 5.5. This game total is just 7.5. He's plus 170 to earn the W, which isn't the greatest, but he is somebody that apparently stands out to the field. Somebody I'm going to go with just because, Milwaukee has more K upside for him than the matchups for the three guys above him in price. And even better than the guy right below him in Shota Imanaga against San Diego, who just does not strike out a whole lot. Imanaga coming off of a rough start, but he did shut down the San Diego squad just a week and a half ago. But he's maxed out at just 4 strikeouts so far this season. A bit worrisome, but I do think he's in play. His K prop's at 4.5 with juice on the under. One of the lowest on this particular slate. That is gross. But the fact that he's plus 125 to earn the W kind of negates that a little bit. He is favored. Game total is just 7.5. So it is somebody that we want to consider. 4.5% roughly. It's pretty low. So if we do end up going with him, it'll be pretty easy to get overweight. Gausman, another name that I'm going to play. I don't want to chase 10 strikeouts, but Atlanta can strike out. So there is K upside for Gausman. His K prop's at 5.5, juices on the under. He's plus 180 to earn the W, but he is tied with Fried and Imanaga as far as the best outs prop at 18.5. He is a slight underdog because Schwellenbach and the Braves are favored, but still, game total of 8, juice on the under. Probably a decent spot, but it is a volatile spot. Jeffrey Springs is probably the one guy that I expect to see ownership jump on. He's just 22% right now. I would guess that he's going to treat closer to 28, 29%. Couple of rough starts in a row, but he's over 100 pitches in his last one. Taking on the White Sox and their atrocious team in Chicago. Weather's going to be cool. We did mention that. 50. Wind is blowing out, but still going to be cool. Springs, somebody that's going to interest me quite a bit. Minus 166 favorite. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over. So again, one of the top 4 or 5 props on the slate. And like I mentioned, he's plus 120, which is the second best odds to earn the W on this particular slate. I think he just, as the day goes on, more and more people are going to draw themselves to Springs. Molly is somebody I'm interested in, just the way that he's thrown the ball. But the Angels' offense obviously has been hitting home runs. His K prop's just 4.5, juices on the over. He's plus 190 to earn the W, but this game has a total of 8.5 with juice on the over. Molly might be more of a last man in, depending on how my final pool shakes out. Kikuchi on the other side, super volatile. Definitely has the upside, but he's been volatile so far this year, allowing home runs. Somebody that I think would be slightly behind Molly, but he's certainly in consideration. His K prop's at 5.5 with juice on the over. He's actually plus 185 compared to Molly at plus 190 to earn the W. Tyler McGill, guy that's just not going to go overly deep in games. He racks up pitch count, walks, etc., but he's been solid, and the Twins have struggled, to put it gently. Game total of just 7.5, juices on the over. McGill's K prop at 6.5, juice on the under, but it's still, he's tied with Pepio for the highest K prop on the slate. Plus 175 to earn the W. Definitely somebody we're going to go to after a lot of people were on Holmes yesterday against the Twins. Just 10% right now. That number's got to go up as the day goes on, I would have to imagine. Pitching in that Tampa Bay Boston game, very tough. Weather is nice for hitting. Again, that ballpark is great for hitting as well. What are we going to do? I don't know that we can go to Buehler, even though I do think he bounces back a little bit after he kind of hit a wall in this Toronto game. He looked great and all of a sudden kind of hit a wall. I think he continues off that, keeps bouncing back from these first 2 starts, but it is a super volatile spot. I just don't know if we want to get there. Pepia, rough outing with home runs last time against LA. All 3 of his starts have been at home, so he's used to this park, but his numbers are going to be all over the place. The one nice thing, obviously tied with McGill with the highest K prop on the slate, and the fact that Boston is striking out more than any team in baseball. Shane Baz just absolutely dominated yesterday. Showing down, I'm obviously not really interested in picking on the Dodgers with a pitcher. Waka in New York, I'm not overly excited about. Fetty and Ober are guys that I normally might play, and I think I might get to Ober. He's kind of settled in after a rough first start of the season. There is some upside to him. His K prop's at 5.5 to pick him. Game total just 7.5, so he's definitely going to be in play. Fetty coming off of a strong start, but his Ks haven't been there. I just don't know if he's all that exciting from an upside standpoint. Houston is a little worse than traditionally, but his K prop's just 3.5 with juice on the over. And he's plus 245 to earn the W, despite St. Louis only being plus 110 underdogs. So there's a lot of numbers there that just don't make a lot of sense as far as upside goes. Landon Knack, I'm just not sure I'm going to get there. We do want to pick on Colorado as much as possible, but it looked like the bats from Colorado woke up late last night, and I think that could carry over a little bit. Plus, Knack's just not overly stretched out. He is plus 160 to earn the W, so maybe we do need to consider him. I'm just not sure. Maybe he's available for 80 pitches, but still, there's a lot of question marks to him. It's not just an automatic plug and play because he's facing the Rockies, in my opinion. Sean Burke, another name that I kind of considered. Great start to the season, but his Ks really aren't there. And the A's have a ton of power upside. I just might not get there, but he's somebody that I wrote down as potentially interesting as the day goes on. But there we have it. There's kind of the first look at the pitching options. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.